My name is Victor Kidson, and we're here at Schiphol, Amsterdam, and I'm with Daniel Kandi. How are you, Daniel?
I'm very fine, a little bit cold, but fine.
Yeah, but we're in a good spot for you.
Absolutely. That's the irony, because I'm back out DJing and I'm flying around again, but I hate the aircraft to be on them, but I love watching them because they're so amazing as machines. So, yeah.
We just got back. We're connecting here, you and I. We're on the same flight from Strasbourg. You just played after the live performance of Ferry Tayle's The Wizard album. How did you enjoy the set?
I enjoyed the set very much. The crowd was really enthusiastic. They were knowledgeable about the tracks, you know, and they knew some of the lyrics as well. And that's not really what the French crowd is known for, because they usually used to house, but they're starting to get into it, and it seems like it's growing. So that's really nice. And kudos to Ferry for having the guts to try it, because he's never done this before. This was really his first time, and he was very nervous before the show, but you did it. I swear, that was really cool. No mistakes, and he was playing nicely, and people were really enjoying it.
Looking at you yourself right now, you are running two careers, sort of, or two passions, or actually three if we compare snooker and pool.
Yeah.
But snooker and pool and music as well. How do you manage the two?
It's really hard, actually. There's definitely more money in traveling around as a DJ, but my passion really is for pool, and this season I've proved that I can do it, because I've beaten all the Danish champions that are actively playing at least once this season, and I've actually beaten the best Danish player we have, the 17 times Danish champion. I beat him twice this season. Something that makes me proud, because I used to have like a bit of a complex with him. He was so hard to beat, and I would beat myself up. I'd been in a Danish final with him back in 2009. I was 6-2 up and I lost 7-6, and that was kind of the deepest scar that I had. And ever since 2009, I'd have had problems with him on the table. So to beat him a couple of times a season was really nice. But as I say, it's hard to juggle, and this is why I've been away from DJing quite a while, because I've been focusing on my pool, getting back in top 4 in Denmark, which I've accomplished. So. I'm one of the dogs that are, you know, with a chance of winning the tournament every time now, instead of being a quarter-finalist or a semi-finalist. I'm always in the talk, so if I'm in the talk, I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, I'm gonna be starting to fly around a bit more. Not like really long-distance gigs, but more like intra-Europe and as 5 or 6 hours by flight away, maybe maximum, just to kind of balance it.
How has music been? Because you took a complete break from music during this period when you were focusing on snooker and pool, right?
Yeah, basically. I also had a meltdown of the CPU because the graphics chip completely. I don't know what happened, because the computer guy that fixed it for me, or tried to fix it for me, said that basically something burned inside of it, and it just didn't work afterwards. So I had to save up for a laptop, and that's hard when you can't make music, which is my living. So I had to wait a little bit before I could buy a new one. Now I do have one, and I'm really, enjoy opening up Reason again and making tunes. So looking forward to 2015, because I have 2 or 3 collabs lined up. One of them is nearly done. You heard that yesterday yourself, and. It's a good goosebump track, really. It's a collab with the Danish guy Dreamy. Get better soon, buddy. He just had an operation. But yeah, a collab with him, and I have a couple of collabs as well with other artists, which I can't say 100% yet. It has to be like completely contract-wise and all that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, really looking forward to 2015.
You started DJing when you were 13 at a youth club in Denmark. Did you start going to the youth club just because they had a pool table, or was it for DJing as well? Or
I needed, after school activities, because my mom was working a full-time job, and a single mom, I had to be somewhere. So it was a case of me having to do something after school. I was just lucky enough that there were 2 things in the club that I enjoyed doing, besides the shitty things that they had there, like sewing class.
Yeah.
I might be bisexual, but I'm not really the knitting person or whatever. So I'm not gonna do new socks myself or anything. Fuck, it's cold out here.
Yeah, it's cool.
Beep out the F word, F bomb.
Don't say that word though. The B word. That's even worse right now.
That word is no good here in Schiphol Airport. But they had knitting class. They had the football and the typical basketball. There was actually 3 things. They had a 4-wheel cross track, so we were driving around on that, and that was really fun. And then they had the pool table, and they had a small discotheque, like a really small corner, like 20 square meters room with like.
Alsjeblieft voor een gatewijziging. KLM in Delta Airlines naar Montreal. Vertrektijd 5.
We're gonna remember this interview for a long time, I think.
Zal nu vertrekken van gate E22.
Awesome. So yeah, basically.
KLM and Delta Airlines.
Kidson interviews now with pauses.
Commercial.
We'll be right back after these messages. And now. So now, basically, I was just lucky that they had the pool table and the discotheque, and I started there with the Technics 1210s, and they had their first CD players like half a year after I came there, and that's how it started, and just grew with it. But I never really had a professional gig until my 19th or so birthday. I had a couple really, but I said to myself, I don't want to end up a commercial DJ, so I stayed away from the nightclub life in Aalborg. So,
looking at the beginning of your music career, was there ever a moment when you realized that wow, this is working, or like people are enjoying my tracks? This is what I'm gonna do right now.
I always felt that I have potential. I had potential to make good music. Whether or not people would like it, you never know. But I was never one that had a trouble with making melodies. That's always been my force. I've never not been melodic. I think melodies all the day. It's probably a bit like I'm not going to compare myself to Mozart because that would be crazy. But it must have been helpful that dude actually thinking of music all the time, having melodies. Sometimes it's quite frustrating because you get so many ideas and it makes it actually a little bit harder to kind of compose, because while I'm making something I'll get another idea. And this is why I've been so slow sometimes to finish my tracks. I have to be really in the moment, and at the same time I'm a really distraught person in a way that I'm not good at focusing for long periods of time, so I'll easily get distracted. But yeah, melodies is my force, but yeah.
Do you remember your first signing to Anjuna Beats? Breathe, how did that feel?
That was a big moment. At first, it's a funny story still, and a lot of people have heard it in like previous interviews, that I actually didn't believe that they were going to reply, because it'd been like 2 weeks or something, and as a young kid starting out in this, you don't know whether or not you're going to get accepted or not. I was lucky that they did reply, and I'd been like pondering whether or not I should stop making trance, because I didn't know if I had a place in the market. But they replied, and it was really a nice experience. I think it was Pavo who actually wrote me, either him or Jono.
What are your thoughts when you listen back to the track today? What kind of times does it remind you of?
It's good times, but it's also a little bit of sad times, because a friend of mine, an online friend of mine that I never actually met, but we talked really nice online, died. So yeah, whenever I do listen back to the track, it's quite emotional, but I feel it's not one of my best tracks. I think I've outgrown it a little bit. I know a lot of people will disagree, because a lot of people still say that Child or Breathe are the 2 best tracks. But production-wise, I've gone a lot better. I tend to revisit old tracks and look over at them, and I'm like, oh, did I really do that? Oh, that's so poor. And I think it's a good sign that you feel that you're always getting better. So, but yeah. Big surprise to get there, so it was nice to have the signing.
What was the pressure on yourself after Breathe to produce your next single?
Actually, there was no pressure there. The pressure got bigger, I think, in 2011 and 12, and I was still, finding it increasingly harder to produce tracks because I make some amazing melodies, but I couldn't really make them hard enough so that it becomes like club worthy. It becomes a little bit too cute, and that's always been my biggest flaw, I think. And I'm trying to beef it up a little bit now. But yeah, like I said, pressure was really higher the further I got, because then people were expecting bigger tracks, and I kind of always had the tendency to kind of shelve the tracks. I felt that this is not good enough, so I would leave it there. And that was the thing about Perfect Match. That melody was 4 years old or 3 years old when I showed it to Alligator, and we started working on it there. It's still mostly produced by me, but he was the one who actually edged me on and said, "You know what, dude, this is a fucking great melody. We need to do a track of it because it could be really big." And we had top 16, I think, of the Acid favorites of the year or something, top 100. So that was a nice surprise. So yeah.
On January 1st next year, your label will celebrate its 4th birthday, 4 years. How has the 4 years been running a label?
It's been turbulent because obviously I did not have a lot of say in some of the tunes that came out in 2014 because I was so much away. But Harry has done pretty good actually with quite a few of the tracks. There are a couple of them that I'm not 100% agreeing on being signed, but that's my fault because I was away. Now I'm back and I can look to the look for higher ground, and there will be a lot of new releases in 2014, both from me and new upcoming artists. So yeah, the label is going good, and it's had so many happy memories for me. So I'm really enjoying it.
How do you look at the year coming up, 2015, right now?
It's gonna be good. New DJ agency. I'm gonna join with Luminosity crew. His booking side of things, and this also means that I will be at as already posted on the forums and stuff. I will be among the people in the lineup for the beach festival next year. So it's looking good, and I'm gonna try and balance it as much as I can with pool and snooker, and just try and do my best to do all things so that I can make myself happy, but also the fans of the music happy.
I love to see yesterday when me and Ferry Tayle picked you up at the airport, the first thing you did in the car was take out your computer and show us some new stuff that you're working on. You even finished the track right before your set and played it in your set.
Yeah.
So I can see that Daniel Kandi is back, and I'm really excited about next year.
Me too, man. It's just nice to feel that you can take out a laptop and say, "This is what I made, and I'm happy with it." And that's one of the bigger things happening for me in 2015. Me wanting to sit at like a laptop again and really produce a proper tune, and not just dreading to open up the program, because I got a little bit tired of it sometimes. But it was good being away because now I can focus on the music again, and I'm increasingly enjoyed it. So,
my name is Victor Kidson, and we're at Schiphol Airport. I would love to sit and talk to you more, but we both have flights in a little bit.
You gotta run, actually.
Yeah, I gotta run.
You gotta run.
So we'll do this another time, all right?
Yeah, absolutely. See you in Denmark when we do this party in March. There might be one. We'll announce it online. And definitely see you at the beach party as well.
For sure. Safe travels, man.
You too, man.